Okay, I'm Priscilla Berardi, the second one. Okay, yesterday, I don't know if you are only the parents who were with us yesterday, or there's some specialists, some medical doctors, some professionals in the room. No? Yes. It's a pity. Okay, because we would have liked to share what happened yesterday, what we discovered with the doctors too. So the first thing that we noticed is that the most crucial moment in CHAMP1 experience is the moment of diagnosis. Um, this thing depends on when the diagnosis was done, when it happened, because sometimes when you have a child who is already an adult, you have lived a long life with your child without having a diagnosis and just getting accustomed to your child's symptoms and to the limitations and also to what your child can do. So when diagnosis arrives, it's just a label that you put on, and it doesn't add too much to your life and to your experience. But sometimes having to wait for years to have a diagnosis also means that you live in doubts, that you live in uncertainties, and this is a burden to carry, because you also have the fear that your child can die, that your child can get worse, and um, and you don't know the future, you don't know anything, you don't know why it's happening. So when the diagnosis arrives, sometimes it's a relief for some people, because at least you have a sense of control. You regain a sense of control, and you have a direction to follow. Sometimes people had the diagnosis, but they had to wait for months for the diagnosis to be explained to them. That means that you spend other months in the uncertainties and in feeling unsafe. So you think the worst. You try to tell yourself that everything is will be good, will improve. But at the same time, you have this nightmare in your head that things can get worse, and that you don't know what will happen. So the moment of diagnosis is a crucial moment, and the way it's communicated is very, very important, because that is the most traumatic moment in the life of people with CHAMP1. Um, Often doctors put the accent on limitations, not on the resources, not on the assets, not on the things that the child can do, not on the things that the child will be able to do. So that moment is a moment when you are overwhelmed by negative information, just negative information, given in the less empathetic way. We listen to the let's say the narrative of the moment when the families received the diagnosis, and it was very, very painful for us too, because mm, words are very important in that moment. Warmth and being with your patient and not just in front of your patient. So the psychological support always lacks before the diagnosis, during the time people wait for the diagnosis, but also lacks in the moment of the communication of the diagnosis. There's no psychologist in the same room with the genetician and the family. And this is and no psychological support is offered for the days to come. So people feel lonely, desperate, bewildered. They have fear, a lot of fear. Sometimes they have relief and a new sense of control because they arrive to the truth. So you think that at least you have something to start again from. The diagnosis also gives the possibility to access to a community, the community of CHAMP1, but also the community of people who share your difficulties, your problems, even if their children have a different diagnosis, but at least they share with you, for example, some symptoms or some difficulties, some barriers that you have that you can find in the society, and also offers a new direction. After the diagnosis, one of the most difficult things to do is coping with stigmatization and isolation, because it's not only a matter of discrimination, but also being stigmatized even from groups of people who have problems with disability, but they don't share the same disability, they don't share the same pathology. Stigmatization can come also from to your child from other children, because children are not are not educated to disability and diversity. So you see your children that are isolated, and you feel isolated because you can't share what you feel and what you think and your problems, your daily problems with others, because you feel that you are not understood, that they can't understand all the challenges that you have to face every day. So this sense of isolation produces self-isolation to protect yourself and also to protect your children from discrimination. And in this isolation, there's a sense of not belonging to any group, to any social group. Every day, or in particular moments of your children's life, you will have to cope with the small things, apparently small things, like the disease that gets worse, or an improvement that doesn't come, or for example, new symptoms, or doors that are closed in front of you when you ask for help, or when you ask for assistance, or for some kind of medical help from services, because really things are not free. Many times happens that you have to pay for them. So every day is a grief. And there are many traumatic moments in the life of people who cope with the CHAMP1. It's not only the moment of diagnosis, but there are many moments of traumatic experiences. Also, there's a daily research of people who can help, but who can help in an adequate way. So specialists that are that can offer the the special help that you need for your situation, and not general help, because your situation is particular. Your child needs a particular help, so you need a particular therapist. And you also have to wonder, can I trust this specialist? Can I trust this professional? Because I can trust myself. I know what I need. I know what my child needs. And if I listen to my perception, I know that this professional is good, is suits me, and this one not. So I, how can I do to leave my to let my child be treated by someone who maybe hasn't the knowledge to treat? Or how can I let my child grow independent when I feel that I need to protect them? Um, Again, no psychological support is offered. If someone had the idea of going to a psychologist, a psychotherapist, had to pay, because the services are not free. Um, this situation is also linked to the nation where people live, because we know that there are nations that have more assets than others, and also is linked to the geographical area where people live, because of course, if you live in the countryside, you will have less resources than if you live in a big city. All this condition has repercussions on personal spaces and on the life of the couple and the life of the family. What we saw is that some families are able to focus on the problem, and they face the things together. So parents are able to stay connected, to go on together. But sometimes couples are divided because they interpret the reality in different ways, and also because there's no individual space anymore. There's no for a space where people can be themselves, where people can think of themselves not only as the father of my child or the mother of my child, not only as a worker who has to provide food and money for the family, but also as a husband, as a wife, or as a woman, as a man. There's no space for it anymore, because you, the care, the treatments occupy the whole time of your day and of your week and of your year. So the couples have no space for them, for the couple. They are not, how can I say, they are not mates anymore. They are just parents. Parents in a particular situation. And the role become rigid. For example, some mothers told that they had to leave their job, their work. They couldn't work anymore, so they were only mothers. And the father had to work, and was only the father who worked. um, there wasn't space for a flexibility of roles inside the family. And this involves also the siblings of the child with CHAMP1. We couldn't go deeper to investigate this issue, but it's worthy to investigate more, because siblings live a particular situation, a particular role of being of having to sacrifice some of the attentions that they need from their parents, and so being adults before their time, and also the fact that maybe they also are called to help the brother or the sister in some tasks, or in also in coping with the society. Besides the problems, we wanted to know also the resources that people discovered within themselves and also around them. So the CHAMP1 community was the biggest resource and the most, let's say, the most shared topic, because when you belong to a community where you don't need to explain anything, where your needs are already understood, when the behaviors of your children are not stigmatized, and you don't feel ashamed, because nobody will say that you are not a good parent because you didn't educate your children properly. So you feel free. You feel you as you are. And this is a big resource, because you can relax. For a moment, you can relax. And you feel that you belong, and you feel that you feel understood. You are not lonely anymore. People share with friends too. Fortunately, even if someone had no help from relatives, but sometimes the help from other friends who didn't have a disability in the family, but they just were empathetic. And sometimes they synchronize on some little things with the grief, with the daily difficulty, or with the difficulty in the couple. So if you are surrounded by friends, by family, by other people who can you can share your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts with, it's very important. This is a big resource. And also when you can share with your couple, when you can share how you feel with your husband or your wife without the fear of hurting, or without the fear of upsetting the other. People told us that they discovered an unexpected strength within them. We thought that maybe they had to, because if you have no help, you have to do with what you have. So every day you will have to cope with your possibilities, and you have to do things. But at the same time, you discover that you have that strength, and you go on day by day. Every day you do a little step forward. And parents learn to give value to little step of improvement of their children, also to their own little steps. And they, even if they are focused on performance, they learn to focus on little things, not only big goal, because they know that they have done and they are doing their best. Their children, they are doing their best, and also they are doing their best. And they are doing their best in an environment, in a protected environment like the community. So people learn to trust themselves. Some mother told us that they learned to rely on their intuitions. For example, intuitions on the effectiveness of the therapy that their children were provided, and the professionality of the specialist. So they also suggested that if you don't like that therapist, if you don't trust that therapist, maybe you are right, and you have to change it. Don't wait. Also, you trust your child, because you learn that your child can be more independent than what you thought, and you trust the other, so you learn to ask for help. What we suggest is that psychological help is required in many moments of these families' life experience. Surely in the moment of diagnosis, there should be a psychologist by the side of the geneticians, for example, when they communicate the diagnosis, because words are important. And also, there are some specific therapies that belong to the field of psychotraumatology, like EMDR, that are specific for traumatic experiences, and they help to regain self-confidence and confidence in the future. Also, groups of therapy and self-mutual help groups. We thought that parent training for parents with children with special needs maybe would help in feeling less puzzled, less confused about the tools they could use educating their children, and also support for siblings. And we thought that maybe a sponsor, we called it a sponsor, like the groups of self-mutual help of Anonymous, Al-Anon, Anonimo Alcolisti, non so come si dice. Because when you have someone who is inside the problem, who already knows the problem, who has faced up a lot of challenges, you are able to give suggestions to the new ones who come to the community and ask for help. So it's like a human call center where you can ask for help and ask for suggestions. We would like to thank, of course, the foundation and the organization and Daniele, but most of all, we thank the families. Because when I arrive, when you are a psychotherapist, you know that people who come to your practice and tell you what they feel, what they live, and they tell you their life, they are donating you something very important. They are donating a part of themselves. And yesterday that happened.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Very appreciated. Wait. Are there any questions from the families? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much.